You got Thursday for launches.
We're good? Tony, we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I'd like to welcome you to the Moohread Public Service Commission Tuesday, May 5th, 2020 meeting. It is 4:42. Calling the meeting to order. Typically, at this time, we ask customers wishing to address the commission for items that are not on the agenda to fill out the request to speak form located in this facility, and we ask them to give that to the administrative assistant in attendance. However, because we were operating in a remote fashion, we had asked that anybody wishing to speak provide comments or questions prior to this meeting. As of this afternoon, we've received none, so we'll move on. Typically, customers wishing to address the commission regarding a specific item other than the rate hearings will be given an opportunity during the discussion of that item. So next time, if you'd like to speak on an issue, please note that there are alternative methods since City Hall is closed. Each customer is given 3 minutes to address the commission. We are here to listen. Any follow-up or feedback will be done by email or anything that cannot be resolved this evening. I now entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion by Daly, seconded by, I believe, Paulson, to approve the, move to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Now I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move approval.
Okay, a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion by Duran, seconded by, who was that?
Paulson?
Paulson? Okay, thank you. To approve the consent agenda, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, now we have approval of the minutes is on the consent, approval of bill for payment on the consent, and customers to be heard. We have none. Old business.
Chuck had, I think.
Chuck?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, thank you. Any other old business? No? Seeing none, we'll move on to the council report. Chuck, are you providing that this evening?
Yeah, I'll do it quickly. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Just with the council meeting, so last Monday, we approved some street improvements for the upcoming year. And we passed resolution of necessity for the city of Moohread for biotic and germ-critical rights of entry in Wilton County. So that did pass. So that's with the FM diversion or the Moohread Clay County Joint Powers Authority. And Deb or Heidi, if you want to add anything else to that.
Seeing shakes of heads. Okay, thank you very much
So
for that report.
Yep, that'll be it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Public Service Commission, any updates? Okay, we do need to make an appointment to the EDA, and Travis is going to talk a little bit about what that would entail, and then we'll talk about who would like to serve on, represent the Moohread Public Service Commission on that body.
Sure. So the Economic Development Association for Moorehead, with that, Moorehead Public Service has one seat on that board. It was formerly a Commissioner Regala, or former Commissioner Regala. So we've had a request by city staff to add an additional, or add a new person to that Economic Development Association. So if it's attending meetings with regard to economic incentives or business development in Moorehead. So if anybody is interested in that.
Clearly, if anybody has an interest, that would be great. Anybody interested? They typically meet in the morning, is that correct?
Yes, if I'm correct.
I believe they do.
No, it's over lunchtime.
Over lunch.
Oh, over lunch, okay.
On a Monday.
On Mondays?
Is it Mondays?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Paulson. I would be interested in that.
Thank you, Commissioner
Thanks,
Paulson.
Joel.
Commissioner Duran, did you say as well, or?
No, I said thanks, Joel.
Oh, okay.
As in, thanks for taking one for the team.
Yeah, that is true, isn't it? Well, that would be great if you would be, I think the rest of the commissioners would appreciate that. So we will do what we need to do on our end to get you onto that, into that association.
Correct. I'll provide that information to city staff, and they'll include Joel on that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, John.
I think it would be appropriate to have a motion.
Okay,
on-
all right. Would somebody like to make that a motion? That motion? Thank you.
Bailey,
Second?
second.
All right, wonderful. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you, Commissioner Paulson. Managers report, Mr. Schmidt.
Nothing on the agenda, but I do have a couple things we can talk about. This week is Drinking Water Week, so kudos and thank you to all of our Water Division staff for providing great, tasty water for the city of Moorehead. On top of that, a little bit of COVID-related stuff. I'm sure we're all interested in that. On the Moorehead Public Service side of things, we have started doing some back-to-work plans. We're working in coordination with the city on a majority of that. Some of our construction crews have made some adjustments to their schedules. They are all back at work. We have separated them out into two different areas so that they don't intermingle, and we can keep them as healthy as possible while still trying to get all the construction done this year. So that's both for the water crew and the electric crew, or crews. The water plant is working on their plan to come back to work, and of course the staff at City Hall, they are also working on a plan, and we'll work with the city staff on that as they look to reopen City Hall at some point in time. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
So we don't have a formal report to?
Nope.
I don't see one, so
Nope.
we don't have to make any kind of motion there. Item number 9, approve the timeline extension for the artwork submission for the I-94 water tower.
Sure. So I'll start with this, and then I'll hand it off to Mark Pritchard. We've been requested by city staff who's pretty much the main portion of the artwork that we are going to be putting on the I-94 water tower. They've asked for an extension on that. They asked for a month. We're actually looking to give them as much time as possible before we have to actually have something to the contractor. So from there, I'll let Mark take over.
All right, thank you, Travis. My name is Mark Pritchard. I'm the water plant supervisor. As Travis had mentioned here previously, we are working on a timeline extension for the I-94 water tower's art procurement process. Originally, it was slated to be submitted back to MPS for final approval on September the 1st, 2019. When the Southside Water Tower's construction project was shifted back, this project's paint job was also shifted back to coincide with the construction process for timelines. We talked with the contractors who are going to be working with MPS for the rehabilitation, and they said that there would be no problem with extending the due date for this timeline out to November 1st. Once we get past that point, it becomes a little bit more difficult to properly schedule the painting crews to be on site at the specific times that we need. One of the things that was heavily talked about in previous commission meetings with the water tower projects that we've had going on is the timeline overlaps that we've needed to keep in very close proximity to each other. This still allows us to get the extension for the artwork that the city staff had requested, and it won't affect our timeline moving forward into 2021 for that rehabilitation project. So everything looks good from a staff perspective, and should the commission approve, we will send another letter to the city staff formally recognizing the new due date.
Mark, do you want to give a quick update on the artwork submission portion that was last week?
Yes, last Friday from about 1:30 until 4 o'clock or so, the art procurement committee for the I-94 tower met and did interviews with several of the first round candidates, and we got a lot of really interesting feedback from all of the candidates, so I want to say thank you to everyone who was involved with that process, both on the committee side and for the individual groups that submitted applications. And now we are in the phase of doing our point allocation for a scale to see who we would like to proceed with. That, I'm sure, will be coming in the next few weeks, but I don't know the exact timeline of the committee's schedule at this time. Right now, we're really trying to make sure that we get probably the top 3, I would say, and then from there, we'll decide a final artist to move forward with.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Heidi, I know you will serve on the committee and for the city, or for us, I'm not sure, but do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, Mark, I think it was on Thursday that we met.
Oh, was it Thursday?
I think so.
Well, the days are starting to blend together. I blame COVID for that one. Apologies.
Exactly. No, just some really unique designs and ideas. I think this tower is really going to be something that stands out.
Should be wonderful. Well, thank you. We need to approve the extension, so I'm willing to take a motion.
Move approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Any comments or questions? Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, moving on to item 10, to the approval of the action concurring with Moohread City Council resolution accepting offer on sale of $13,985,000 general obligation water revenue bond.
I'll start to this. If there's any financial questions, I'll ask Mark Moylan to come up and answer those. So all these, the bonding that that the city council approved on last Monday's meeting was for roughly $14 million. These are all for water-related projects. So this includes the lime sludge dewatering facility, the South Side Water Tower, the repainting of the I-94 water tower, which we just talked about. Along with that, we'll also be doing a few of our water main replacement projects. So those are what the funds are going to be used for from this bond. We actually were a little concerned over the past month or so with COVID-related items going on. There was a lot of fluctuation in the market. Everything came to a final good standing for us. We were able to actually reduce our overall bonding because of the interest rates we got. We got a great premium on it, which was allowing us to reduce our overall bonding by about $585,000. Other than that, really, we're requesting you guys approve the action concurring with what council did, because the water revenue bond, or water revenues, will be paying for the bond obligation.
Any questions for Travis? It's hard to see, so raise your hand high if you. So I'm seeing no questions for Travis. And is there anything that Mark needs to add? No? He said it all. Okay. Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Daily second.
Okay, wonderful. We have a motion and a second to approve the bond issue. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 11 and 12 are on the consent, so that leaves upcoming meetings. And we'll let you know what that looks like. I think we're going to meet on the 19th.
Plan is to meet on the 19th.
Plan is to meet on the 19th. I take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Travis?
Okay, I have a motion, second. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you for coming.